Hi friends, I'm Olga Koelsch and welcome to my studio. Today we're gonna paint something magical. It will be a floral composition together with the moon, and we'll learn how to make nice textures and how to paint with granulated colors and just have some fun. So let's start. So to paint the moon, to paint a nice circle, I use IKEA ball, any ball. Oops, circle is ready. And for the flowers, I'm taking Quinacridone rolls and I mix it with Pyrrole in very diluted style on one brush, and I take just Pyrrole, very bold, on the other brush. Let's see what will happen. With the tiny brush I make the middle of the flower, and with a bigger brush I drag out the color from the middle and distribute it, and I try to make a nicely shaped petals, just like this. And when it is still wet, I add more color in the middle of the flower, and second flower, maybe just here, again middle, and very diluted mixture of Quinacridone rolls and Pyrrole, not Aperol, but just Pyrrole. And you see how nicely it flows one into each other. Just the beauty of watercolor. Here it is. That's why I love it so much. And when it is wet, I immediately add olive green, and I try to overlap here with pink petals, because I want to make everything flows and mixing right here. And you see how joyful this color combination is, this olive green and these warm pinky shades. And now I take my favorite dark Perylene green, and with this I will paint more roundish leaves. It's nice to bring variety to a bouquet, so we play around with different shapes and different colors. I add some darker hint here for contrast, and it adds very nice contrast to light pink and dark green, and all our drawing starts to sparkle and be very joyful. Also, it would be nice to add some buds, for example, very randomly with a small brush, more dry. We need something more dry. I randomly add tiny little buds around, just dancing with the brush, with the tip of the brush to make fine lines, and with the bottom of the brush. And I want buds be more bold, so I use darker color. I think something like this is nice, and some greenery around. It's also nice to use different types of strokes, different pressure of the brush to add some variety. It's a bouquet, so we could see different combinations, different different grass, different greenery here. Okay, let's go to the bottom. Of course, you could tone your paper like this. For me, it's more handy just to paint this side. Again, same procedure. Tiny little brush with Pyrrole, making some dots for the middle, and big brush with very diluted Quinacridone rose, and I just drag out the color from the middle and try to make the petals in a very loose, playful way. Just like this. Also, it is still wet. It's nice to add some darker, bolder color into the middle. And another flower. Something like this. Very playful. And also try to cover the area which connects to the circle. In the future, you will see why it's so nice. Again, some darker color here in the middle. Distribute it a little bit. Same here. And actually, I would like to paint the third flower here to make the amount not even and not symmetrical. I like when things are not symmetrical. It brings more artistic feeling, more random feeling. So our third flower, same style. I try to take a little bit lighter shade here, again to bring some variety and make it to get some volume here. And again, very quickly, because this is still wet and we need these seconds. Olive green, tip of the brush, belly of the brush, painting leaves, painting long leaves, tip of the brush, belly of the brush, long leaves, tip of the brush, belly of the brush. Try to overlap. Here we do not have too much space, but yeah, we could imagine that it goes like this. Nice. And a dark green, Pyrrole green, round shaped petals. Why I'm still holding this, I don't know. Round leaves, round leaves, round leaves, round leaves. So not to get too bored in painting actually the same part again. Sometimes it's boring. Try to add variety, play around. Sometimes I like the bottom part more than the upper part, because in the bottom part I already relaxed. I didn't overthink too much on the painting, and sometimes I think, oh, can I paint this one again? Now we add buds with more bold brush, randomly, chaotically, and tiny green leaves details just right here and here. What's important, so it will look like one piece, to repeat all the details which we have here. For example, we have here buds and this tiny little leaves, so we need to repeat them here, at least here and there, and then it will look like one piece. I think it's actually a good moment to stop, and we'll let it dry a little bit, and we start with this middle part. For middle part we need to be very well prepared, because we will have just few seconds for everything. First step will be to water the middle circle very well and very carefully. You water it. Try not to press too much on the brush, because it could damage the paper, especially if you use 200 grams paper, as I do now. With 300 grams paper it's a little bit easier, but it also it could work in any paper. So water the circle very well. If you look at, if you move it, you could see that it is very bright. You could see the water here. That's very good. Now I want to combine few colors. First will be Sienna from Schminke. This one. I start to paint it randomly. You see, it's already very beautiful. It's already very beautiful. You do not basically need to do too much to help it flows. Now it's the most relaxing and entertainment part if we are well prepared. And well prepared, I means we decided which colors we will use, and we watered the circle very well. And now we have just few seconds to play around. I want to make it very soft brownish, and I also like to add my favorite Oxid Red. My favorite Oxid Red. Something looks like a heart. It's watercolor is so unpredictable. That's the beauty. With very carefully, we could do some textures like these. And what else would be nice to add? I think olive green. Actually, the same olive green we use for leaves will be nice here, and it will combine our flowers and our moon together, which is very nice. And it will be everything will look like nice one entire composition. So what happens next? Could you guess? Now we wash the brush, we leave it relatively wet, and we go to that parts which started to dry, and just randomly put some dots in the half dried places. Wash the brush carefully. It's important, otherwise it will look dirty and not artistic, and we do not want that. To make it different, you could, for example, add more and more water to one spot, like I do here or here. Here is a little puddle, which nice to distribute. Try to avoid these puddles. They usually, when they dry, they do not make a nice texture. They do not show nice texture. And we keep looking which parts are getting dry, and we add some water in there. we could stop for a moment, blow on it, for example. Think what else? Maybe I would like to add some contrast, darker color. I take Van Dyke, which is the dark brown, and I add it just to that places which are still wet. This puddle, for example. I do not like this puddle. But yeah, I think better if we forget about it. We have what we have with watercolor. It's the beauty, and it's sometimes a headache. Yeah, now I think I like the contrast more. Maybe I will add a few small spots of dark Van Dyke around. It will help to connect everything. With the smaller brush, I will still keep some dark color here, and with the small brush, I try to distribute a little bit. I will try to help watercolor a little bit to go in the direction I would like to have, not watercolor. But it's important to work as a team with watercolor, because otherwise it could be sad and annoying, and we do not want that as well. So I think we are almost done. Maybe the last touches. I see we have a lot of greenery in the flowers and no greenery in the moon. So I'm taking my Perylene green in rather dry. It's rather dry than wet, and also add a few small touches here and there, especially on the lighter parts, on the lighter wet parts. It helps us to connect everything. And now with very clean brush and dry, I will distribute a little bit this green around, and I keep looking what's happening, where could I add some texture. I think again I could go with clean brush to some areas, for example like this, and add some water. Maybe you can't see it right now, but once it gets dry, it will make nice clouds. It will bring nice texture to what we are doing. Again, we are waiting a little bit, maybe just a bit of greenery here. Only add color to the spots which are wet, but I think you remember that already. That's the key. That's the key rule to be happy with watercolor. And now again we look what could be added. Sometimes I get up from my desk and to look what else could be improved. What else? Now I will go va-bank. I take my big brush, it's with water, and I do this. You probably can't see it, but soon we will see what's happening. It should add some tiny little texture. I will bring my camera a little bit down. Maybe it will be nicer to see how all this flows. And I think this is it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy the process, and I'm looking forward to see your flower moons. On Instagram, tag me olga.koelsch. Leave some feedback in comments what you would like to paint next. How do you like the process? Do you enjoy the process? Subscribe my channel and see you next time. Bye bye.